Police in the Shin Bet now saying they have stopped a fifth assassination attempt in just a month to be carried out on behalf of Iran. We've learned that 7 people from East Jerusalem have been arrested for reportedly plotting attacks on a senior scientist and on the mayor. Israel police saying they've uncovered an Iranian network that is actively recruiting Israelis for terror missions. And this all comes, of course, as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. Dan Arbel is a scholar in residence at the Center for Israel Studies at American University, also a 25-year veteran of the Israeli Foreign Service. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, as always, here.
Thank you, Josh. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, of course, we know this is not the first time that Iran has tried to recruit Israelis to carry out their dirty work, so to speak, and you do have these assassination attempts. So I want to get your thoughts overall on that situation, hearing that 7 people have been arrested there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting phenomenon. It started several years ago, but it's been intensifying since October 7th, 2023, as Iran is trying to make inroads into Israeli society and actually use, plain civilian Israelis to carry out missions that would strike in the heart of Israel, would take out Israeli officials, would perhaps pass on information to Iran regarding army bases, regarding, how sensitive infrastructure inside Israel. And I think it shows a kind of a desperate attempt by Iran to make gains inside Israel in order to embarrass Israel. I don't think that they actually are trying to, it's not a game changer in any sense, but it's certainly something that's been used by Tehran as an additional tactic in order to expose the vulnerabilities of Israel.
I want to talk a little bit about this classified documents leak, because we know that the meeting between Blinken and Netanyahu is coming as the U.S. is investigating the release of those documents on Israel's preparations for that retaliatory attack on Iran. We heard from White House National Security spokesman John Kirby, who said that Biden is, quote, deeply concerned, though he adds it's unclear at this point if the information was actually leaked or if there was a hack of some kind. I did want to ask, with the leak of the documents, is the meeting between Blinken and Netanyahu likely a more tense one than normal? And is this in any way the reason behind that meeting?
I don't think so, Josh. I think that there's as you've mentioned, it's his 11th trip to the region, the secretary, and it's the last one probably before the U.S. elections. They've got a lot of issues to cover, starting with Iran, Gaza, Lebanon. I'm sure that the issue of the leaks is going to be discussed, but I don't think that's the top concern right now. And I think that there is certainly, tension at the top between the U.S. leadership and the Israeli leadership. And I think that we're going to see a candid conversation between Blinken and Netanyahu about where things are heading. Iran certainly is on everybody's mind, but there are other issues to discuss. And these leaks will not necessarily add more tension, as you suggest.
And that's what I was going to ask. Do you see that impacting any sort of situation there between the U.S. and Israel? Because maybe it's not necessarily a tense meeting, but is the relationship slightly fractured between the U.S. and Israel as a result, or do things pretty much stay the same?
I think that, first of all, the administration rushed to conduct an investigation into the leak, and we still don't know the source of the leak and who's behind it, whether it was a mistake or whether it was done by intention by a certain official trying to undermine Israel's plans vis-a-vis Iran. So that's one thing. And the second thing I think that is that you do have a situation in which Israel is coordinating with the United States its possible actions against the Islamic Republic. And it's very important, the coordination between the two sides. And of course, such a leak does present challenges to the planners on both sides, to those discussing this issue. But I don't think that was will necessarily add more tension to an already very tense relationship at the moment.
And right now on the left side of your screen, you're looking at a live look over Beirut, Lebanon, where we know the Israeli operations do continue there. Now, we also know that Iran attack, 180 ballistic missiles, was launched earlier on this month. It's been about 3 weeks. So I did want to get your take here. Are you surprised at all that that retaliatory attack from Israel on Iran hasn't happened yet?
No, I'm not surprised. I think it's everybody's expecting it, and the Iranians are bracing for it. So therefore, I think it adds to the pressure on the Iranian regime as they're kind of in the dark and don't know when it's going to happen. And Israel is going to choose the best time and circumstances and readiness of its system in order to conduct such an attack, to retaliate what Iran over Iran's October 1st attack. So, it may be longer than some analysts have expected, but I think that it certainly falls into the category that of reasonable timing for Israel to get its plan together and carry it out in the most proficient and accurate way.
And I do want to pop up this live image once again showing Beirut in Lebanon, as we do know, of course, that the strikes there in the Beirut suburbs have gotten more intense, I would say. But do you think that is at least in part in retaliation for the assassination attempt that happened over the weekend on Netanyahu and his wife? Or is this where things would kind of stand regardless?
Yeah, I think that the assassination attempt certainly has added to the Israeli calculus and how it operates inside Lebanon, and of course the targets it strikes in Beirut, in the capital of Lebanon. But it's not only that; it's just continuous attacks on targets which Israel believes are sensitive facilities by Hezbollah. Its banking system, its gold caches, where Hezbollah gets a lot of its funding, where Hezbollah gets a lot of its cash in order to operate. So I think that the attack on Netanyahu's residence in Caesarea was one aspect of it, but I think it's continuous effort to weaken Hezbollah to the point where it agrees to a ceasefire on Israel's terms.
What do we know about, and I want to make sure I get the number right, the, I believe, $500 million in gold and cash that is apparently underneath the hospital there in Beirut, Hezbollah's money, their financial source. What do we know about that overall?
So we've known over the years that Hezbollah has a huge accounts of cash and gold that's parallel to the Lebanese financial system. It's a system independent from anything else, and it allows Hezbollah a lot of flexibility, and it allows Hezbollah to act in the way it acts in terms of financing its weapon purchases, its troop deployment, and so on. So the fact that this huge amount was uncovered or made public was no secret to many experts on the topic. But now that it's out there in the public, Israel has certainly made this a target of possible operations, cracking down on it, trying again as part of the strategy to weaken Hamas, to take out these financial assets that are helping Hezbollah operate.
All right. Dan Arbel there at American University. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. Anything else you want to add about any of this before I let you go?
I think that right now, we haven't discussed Gaza and Sinwar's killing, the head of Hamas. Now's the time to move for a hostage release deal, for ceasefire, get out the 101 Israeli hostages that have been in Gaza for over a year. So I hope that, again, part of Secretary Blinken's talks with Netanyahu are focused on that issue, and I hope that we see results soon, hopefully.
All right. Thank you again for taking the time to be here with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.